One of the nation's largest pork processing plants is shut down indefinitely after more than 300 employees tested positive for coronavirus at the Smithfield plant in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Despite now having one of the country's largest coronavirus clusters interstate, South Dakota's governor continues to resist calls to issue a stay-at-home order. Instead, Governor Kristi Noem has announced the first statewide clinical trial of hydroxychloroquine in the country. The anti-malarial drug has been championed, obviously, by President Trump, although its effectiveness has not been scientifically proven. Steve Allender is the mayor of Rapid City, South Dakota. Mayor, thanks so much for being with us. You're one of more than 160 city and county leaders in the state who signed a letter urging the governor to declare a statewide public health emergency. Why do you think she continues to be resistant?
Well, that's the question of the day, Anderson. We've all achieved some level of unity here in South Dakota, and we're big and spread out here geographically, and we're sparsely populated. So more than 150 mayors and some county commissioners also signed on to that letter asking for the emergency. So we really don't know what the holdup is, but it seems to be a combination of her questioning the authority she may have to do so versus the tactical or strategic benefit of doing so.
Yeah, I mean, Governor Noem argues that because a majority of the cases in South Dakota have happened in the Sioux Falls area where the pork plant outbreak occurred, that a statewide shelter in place or stay-at-home orders is not necessary.
Right, and there's some logic to that, but here now we've been identified as one of the nation's hot spots in Sioux Falls, and so it's just a question of when does it infiltrate the rest of our rural communities in South Dakota. And we're 340 miles from Sioux Falls, and our metro area is definitely smaller than Sioux Falls, but we have thousands of people here working together and living their lives every day. So the question is how and when and if we impose any regulation or whether we let it run its course, I think.
Obviously in a lot of farming communities, there are a lot of farm workers, undocumented workers. Is testing where you would like to see it in your area?
Well, no, and I think that's the same answer that any community in the nation would give right now, because there's a global testing supply shortage. That is breeding a feeling of distrust or even conspiracy that the numbers aren't accurate and that our communities are infested, but we just don't know it. So we have to balance the testing results with the consultation of the local area hospital system and the clinicians to find some credibility in the testing numbers. And so for Pennington County, where we are here in western South Dakota, we have 9 positive test results, and 5 of those at least are recovered now, and that's in stark contrast to Sioux Falls. So is there evidence to believe that's true? Well, yes, there is, speaking to the medical providers in this area. But no one's under the impression it's going to last forever.
Yeah. Mayor Allender, I appreciate your time and appreciate all you're doing. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Still ahead, our CNN reporters will take you around the globe. In the UK, the death toll is a stark 50% higher than initially thought. Also, we'll take you to Italy, where some Italians are continuing to test positive for coronavirus long after their symptoms are gone.